Hey guys, welcome to That Game Show, the show that talks about all the stuff in the nerd world and all the stuff in between. I am your host, Chase Bunker. Joining me today is the half-Asian sensation, it's Curtis Coe.
Hello, everyone.
The newly dubbed third player, it's Daniel Clegg.
The victory is mine. Hello, friends.
All right.
He has slayed Murph Murphy and has moved up the rank.
Yes.
I never told you this, but we tried to convince you for months that he's actually missing shows. No, it's not true.
I'm pretty sure, Murph is just my Tyler Durden. I'm pretty sure, that's just the case. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us via podcast on iTunes or TuneIn or Stitcher, thank you for making us a part of your day. Guys, I have a little bit of a strain going on in my relationship currently. My girlfriend and I had finally had the big battle in Hearthstone. Hearthstone's sort of become our game now, to where it's whenever if she comes over, she'll bring her iPad and we'll play that together for a little bit. So we finally had the best of 4, and because I feel
how did you prepare for this encounter?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It was one of those where it's I have a solid 3, but I couldn't figure out what my 4th one was, and so it's I had to kind of ponder which one's actually good. And so luckily I just got the military quarter of Naxxramas. And I got the Void Caller, and he does, for his Death Rattle, for those of you who don't play it or don't know it, he brings out another demon from your hand, which is great if you bring him out and then do a Sacrificial Pact. Hey, I heal 5. Also, here's another demon.
Right.
So that's a Warlock, right?
Yeah, it's Warlock deck. So I decided to go with the Warlock deck as my 4. So that's why I kind of braced myself, and I didn't know which one do I want to start with. Do I want to start with the best deck first or the best deck last? Because as soon as you lose a deck, that's it. If you lose, you're done.
Oh, you were playing where? Oh, is that how it works in the best of 4?
Well,
that's how we work.
Oh, that's how you guys are. Right. Okay.
In last year's World Championship, once you how did it go? This year, if you win with a deck, you're not allowed to use that deck anymore, therefore guaranteeing you play with a variety of decks.
Okay.
Last year, that was not the case, which I guess is how you're doing it.
Yeah, and so we also did it to where after every minion dies, you drink.
After every minion?
After every minion. So at that point, I was like, oh, Hunter's going last. Because... Hunter is just straight minions. And so we started off, she went Shaman. I think, yeah, she went Shaman. And then I went Warlock. And I ended up winning that one, just in the end. And then, we ended up going 1-1, 1-1. I found the disgusting combo of I forget the warrior card, but he's the one that gains +1 attack. I think it's +1 or +2 for every time a minion gets hit.
Oh, that is the Frothing Berserker.
That's it. I dropped him, and then I did Whirlwind with 8 minions on the field.
Wow.
Oh no, it doesn't stop there.
Oh my god.
And then I proceeded to drop +2 attack and charge. And so by that point, it's I hit her, I think, for 15 damage, and I was like, this just got disgusting. So needless to say, I won that round, but then she immediately, next game's oh, that card's out? Yeah, I'm killing that. And then she ended up bringing out a priest deck, and then it went to our final decks, because the priest.
So you had a 30-minute game there, right?
Yeah. And so finally, it went down to our final decks, her priest versus my hunter, and I just won, but I know if we played again that she probably would beat me, because it's a good deck, and I hate the deck because it's priest, and now she's crafting all her dust into priest cards. No, I loved you.
So is this going to become a regular occurrence?
I think it is right now, where we're gonna be playing against each other pretty regularly.
Nice little healthy competition.
Yeah, it is. Not much really happened in the news. Somebody got casted as Electra.
Yeah.
Who got casted?
It is a relatively unknown. The only thing I know her from is she was in G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Okay.
As the female ninja character. I read something. I don't remember what her character's name was. They said it once, and then she's in the fight with on the mountaintop where they're like
Okay.
swinging across the mountain fighting other ninjas and such like that.
Okay.
I think it's a good cast. It looks pretty
It could be
good. She definitely looks the part, as does gosh, Joe. I can't pronounce his last name, and I'm gonna butcher it.
Mangela or something.
Joe Bernenthal.
This is for the Punisher thing, isn't this?
Yeah, Punisher is supposed to be in season 2 of Daredevil. He's supposed to be according to sources, he's supposed to be the main antagonist, and played by Joe. I can't pronounce
John
his last name,
Barenthal?
but yeah, John
That's
Barenthal. Shane from Walking Dead
Walking
probably
Dead, yeah.
is what people will know from. Really good cast on both of these. I think it's going to be a good. It's going to be another good season.
Yeah. Speaking of
I
good
have-
season,
No reason to be afraid of season 2 of that show, but just because they changed showrunners, I am just like a teeny tiny.
Oh,
bit
yeah.
nervous.
But I mean, they have such good cast. You know what I mean? I think this is one of those shows that just the cast is gonna kind of hold it together. I don't think they need that showrunner anymore. The tone has been set. The idea behind it has been set. I think they can kind of run with it at this
Yeah,
point.
I really hope you're right, and I'm gonna
I
watch
hope
it
so,
day
too.
one. Really,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it day one. You
I
know,
hope so too.
yeah.
I mean, they've got their own politics inside of that.
Yeah.
that
I still need to
that
watch it.
world, but
It's good.
it's so good. Chase.
It's
Yeah.
probably it's just the couple scenes where he's in his black mask and his like ninja outfit is one of the best superhero series so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Speaking-
fighting in that is fantastic. Sorry,
Speaking
go
of great season, check us out at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, July 31st at 5:30. I forget what room we're going to be in, but we're going to have everybody. Murph said he might actually come, so, I mean, granted, he also could be a figment of my imagination the entire time.
ahead. At this point,
Let's see. Matt Ryan's going to be there, Carrie Fisher, Jen Malone, Freema Agyeman. They just got Linda Hamilton from
Terminator, right?
Terminator 2 and
Yep.
Dante's Peak. It's like, as soon as I heard Dante's Peak, it's like immediately triggered, like, oh crap, that movie, because it terrified me when I was younger.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're gonna be there. Definitely check out all the shops as well, because there's a lot of great stuff. I got an awesome Mega Man poster from there. Well, technically,
yeah?
thanks to Curtis, but yeah.
I am trying to figure out. I think we are at 5:30 in room 20.
Okay, that sounds about right. 5:30, room 20.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to the shopping because I've never been to a
Oh,
Comic Con
it's
before.
so
it's
the merchandise is going to be awesome.
that's luckily, like, I've been working a little bit more, so I have like a little bit of extra money. Like, that's one of those, like, you will
Yeah.
spend like hundreds of
$50
dollars.
easily just on
Yeah.
a couple really cool pieces of art that
Yeah.
like actually I can, if you guys want, I can grab my artwork and show it off.
Yeah,
or-
grab your
Yeah.
artwork. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
while you grab your artwork, I'll be talking about like the stuff
Okay,
that I got
go ahead.
there. Like,
ahead.
Shark Robot had a poster, and Curtis's webcam just like adjusted to. Oh, I guess that's what his phone looks like. That's cool. I got this like awesome Mega Man poster with Mega Man, Zero, Vile, and Sigma. It was, of course, during the X series because, you know, I feel like that's just the best one. And I also got a Mega Man shirt there, and I spent about like $20 to $40 easily. It's like
Oh, that's not so
you'll
bad for
spend a
nice
good amount of
poster.
money.
Yeah.
So this was one of the things that Charlotte and Chase got
Yeah.
me last year, and then
Now, did it come
also-
framed like that, or did
no,
it come,
I bought the
Yeah, he bought the
frames,
frame.
but and this is the other one. It's a nice Batman.
Yeah, there's a lot of great artists over
a
there.
lot of really good fan art and such like that you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
get anywhere else.
But it's really good. So definitely, really
Yeah.
cool, really awesome. We had a great time last time. We met a lot of friends over there. Hopefully, we'll see them again this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's definitely something to check out. Also, speaking of checking out, how is our movie recap doing? Or movie draft?
Yeah, so let's talk about the big surprise of the summer that Jurassic World
Oh my
is
gosh.
stomping
Ha,
Avengers.
ha, stomping.
Oh, an unintentional pun.
I
but-
thought you were actually trying to pull the Jeff Goldblum.
No, I wasn't at all. I didn't mean that at all.
This movie found a way.
Ah.
All right.
But no, Jurassic World is doing fantastic. It's still riding near the top of the charts. As of right now, it's grossed 556 million.
And how much did you get that for?
I got that one for a whopping 26 points or 28 points.
Gosh.
And how much did I pay for?
62.
Oh my god, that's depressing. Oh man.
No, what's more depressing is that you're still like, there's still a chance that you could still win because of Ant-Man.
Well, let me read off what the current ranking is. At fourth is the possible figment of our imagination, Murph.
Yeah.
Who's rocking 394 million.
Now, does he have anything else coming out?
Yes, he has both Pixels and Fantastic Four.
So he has Fantastic Four.
Correct.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, potentially Pixels could do well if it's not your normal Adam Sandler schlock.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's been doing just to get paychecks. But Murph's at 394 right now. Chase is in third with 419. Magic Mike did not do as well as they were expecting it to.
Know.
About 28 mil this weekend. Clegg is in second at 512.
Hold on, does Chase have anything else coming out?
Yes, he has Minions. This is a big one.
I got Minions.
See,
I am banking on that one.
That could do very well. That should do 200 million at least.
That should do really well. So he still has a really good shot of getting up there. And some of his, I think Magic Mike will still kind of make money in the background, kind of like Mad Max has over the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then number 2 is Clegg, rocking 512. Your big
Wait, what am I
hitters.
at again?
You're at 419.
Okay, so I'm not that far behind. I have a chance.
Murph is kind of riding right below you, though. He's at 394 right now.
But he doesn't have Minions.
But he has Inside Out. He has Inside Out, and it's making decent money.
Yeah, it's doing decent.
I think that's going to be one of those movies that, again, just kind of makes money in the background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I am in first place at 878 million.
800.
Oh, no.
Almost 900 million.
You are almost double. Nope, never mind. I don't think I can win it.
And how many more do you have coming
I
out?
have one more with Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
I'll tell you, you also have Terminator, don't you?
I do have Terminator. It did not do very well. It got 42 million over the past 5 days.
I've been hearing bad things about. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
but I've been hearing bad things about it.
I don't think anyone was really stoked for it, to be honest, and I think that's the issue. I think some people were like or kind of hoping it would be good, but the initial reviews did not help it, and
I feel like that franchise has just sort of
died.
Yeah, it's been a good ride, but we've had five movies now.
This is the 5th one, yes, and a TV series that was okay.
Okay, right, good, but they didn't
some
get
people
renewed,
like it.
so.
Some people just thought it was meh.
Well, they didn't get going. So.
Yeah, I think the one thing about it is that James Cameron did the first 2. Am I wrong?
I believe that is correct. I'd have to check about the second one. I know he did the first.
I know he did the first one. First one's good. He did the second one. Everybody loves the second one. I think they said the second one's the greatest.
I agree.
And then he stopped after that, and you have all these people. I never saw Rise of the Machines. I heard it was awful. I saw Salvation. I thought it was underwhelming.
Yeah,
I think it's
very much so.
I haven't seen this one yet. I think the only reason I'm gonna see it is because of Matt Smith, and that's about it. But other than that, I don't know why it's underperforming, because I feel like with the following it has, and how people always like to reference the machines, and how often we've referenced this movie, how is this franchise just so...
Well, Clegg, I'd like to hear your opinion on this really quickly. I don't know how big of a Terminator fan you are.
Yeah, they're okay.
Okay, so I know what it is. They want Terminator 2 back, and it's impossible to get Terminator 2 back because he's old. He can't do that kind of stuff anymore. Terminator 2 was such a good movie.
Right.
I have another theory, but it's kind of a mean theory if you guys want to hear it.
A mean theory? Okay.
It's mean. It's not, it's not that bad. I think it's because Jai Courtney is in it.
Wow!
Who's that? Is that Khaleesi?
No,
he's the guy who's playing Kyle Reese in this movie.
Yeah, Khaleesi is Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew that name.
Which I've always wanted to call her Emilia, but it's like
I know.
It's like, oh wait, it's Amelia. I'm an idiot.
Let me read off the things that he has totally brought down so far. Terminator Genesis. He was in Insurgent, which didn't do very well, and Divergent, which didn't do well. He was in I, Frankenstein. He was in He was in A Good Day to Die Hard.
I know that he was in that one. I didn't know he was in I, Frankenstein.
Just this list of schlock.
And he's also in Suicide Squad, so at this point, it's he's almost becoming like the Samuel L. Jackson of white people, where it's like, have you seen any movie ever? He's the white guy.
I would put the A Good Day to Die and that franchise, Die Hard, that's in the same category as Terminator, in my opinion. This is like what, the fifth movie, sixth movie. It's time to just stop. They've just slowly
Well,
gone downhill.
okay. Let me be fair. I liked the last. I mean, the last one was like it was because like there's some moments that are really good, but then there's other moments where it's just like I get it, you're on vacation, but Live Free or Die Hard. I actually liked that movie.
That's the one with the hackers, right?
Yeah, that's the one with Kevin Smith and then
That one
Timothy
was
Olyphant.
actually-
That was cool. I love the ending for it. And it made me love Timothy Olyphant in it.
Yeah,
I think I also loved the movie just because. Sorry, I completely interrupted you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the only reason I also loved it because the Hitman trailer was also in it at that time, and I lost my mind when I saw that.
That's true.
That is-
I mean, I agree with you. I thought the fourth one was a good one.
Yeah.
I thought the first four were great, and that's why it was so surprising that this one was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Inside Out yet?
I have, and it is a fantastic.
Oh yeah,
movie.
it's so good. Like it's of course like every Pixar movie is really good, but did you cry?
No, but I came close actually, and that doesn't happen very often.
Was it?
This movie was really good for a kid to watch, right?
Yeah.
Like most Pixar movies are. But I felt this one in particular was also really aimed at adults. It's a very smart movie.
It is.
It's very intelligent the way they created this universe, right? And made concepts have some kind of physical form
Yeah.
that we can understand visually,
Yeah, I felt the casting was incredible because
Mhm.
first off, anytime you have Bill Hader, I love it because I love Bill Hader. I felt like Amy Poehler always pulls off a good Joy. For a second, I thought it was the blonde girl from for Disgust. I thought it was the blonde girl from 30 Rock, Jane Krakowski. I thought that was her, but it was actually
okay.
Mindy Kaling, and I ended up liking her a lot more anyway.
Mm. Oh, okay, yeah. And
Yeah.
they had Phyllis from The Office.
Yes.
As Sadness. She was great.
so like there was other times like okay come on now, but at the same time it's like oh wait you have to be that way. Okay, you're perfect for this.
Yeah, exactly. Like I got angry at her because she was being so down, but then you gotta realize that's what she is.
That's what she
Mhm.
is. And Lewis Black of course being Lewis Black. Like
That's awesome.
did Lewis Black really have like any training or like any like practice for that role, or were they just like who's an angry actor and then everybody just literally just like oh, and then we just immediately
Gilbert Godfrey.
no, Gilbert Gottfried's just loud.
I know.
And it
Sorry.
was it's fun, silly to say this. It was an emotional roller coaster, that movie. Not just because there
Yes.
were emotions involved, but it was happy, it was sad, it was depressing, it was exciting. I mean, it had all these. It was just a really, really good, really smart movie.
There's
now I wanna
one
watch it.
scene. Oh yeah, you'll want to watch it. There's one scene, and I'll tell you this later, but I'm gonna try to like code it so that Curtis doesn't know, but he doesn't like think.
Here, hold on.
Okay, Curtis is taking off his headphones. All right. The scene. Okay, spoilers for anybody that's hasn't seen these yet.
Spoilers. Skip ahead 2 minutes.
When Bing Bong disappeared.
Yeah, that was.
Oh
sad.
my god. No, because here's like I had imaginary friends when I was younger and I was like, "No, I remember you. No, don't go away." And I kept thinking like all of them. And I was like,
Right?
"Oh my gosh, no, I remember you." And so like when that happened, I was like,
Did you feel guilty?
I felt guilty, but at this
Me too.
And I also
'Cause
just
I
felt
had
so
a-
sad. I was like, "No, I want him to live."
Right. I had a stuffed animal who I personified. I think most kids did.
Yeah.
But I haven't thought about it in years. But seeing the movie, I thought, oh yeah, I had one of those. Oh, he's in a drawer somewhere, or shredded, or
Oh
or,
no,
I
mine
don't
aren't
know,
shredded.
but he's gone.
I had a thing when I was younger where like I personified almost anything and everything to where it's like I felt bad if like this was like the last like food, like the last piece of bread taken. It's like, well, next time I'll just get it first. But yeah, all right, Curtis is coming back. Hopefully you guys haven't taken.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it was sad. I agree. But in a good way.
yeah. It wasn't like I didn't get like Doctor Who, David Tennant, but I still had like a good one going.
Mhm,
And of
yeah.
course, like the entire time, I'm just like, don't look at your girlfriend. Don't look at your girlfriend. She can't see you cry. Nope, don't. Oh man. There's just like a few people I just don't want to cry in front of, and I can't cry in front of her yet. I guess I have a reputation to keep up. Anyways,
You'll get there.
I'll get there.
That's what I say to that.
Yeah. Well, you've known me for 20-something years, so you get to say that.
That's what I say to that too. That's why I can say that.
Yeah, that's why. You have an excuse to say that. You dick. All right. Game time. I have a new game for Name That Game, and same rules apply. 10 questions for 20 questions. I should say 10 because last time you guys got it in 10. 20 questions. It goes back and forth up till the 10th question. Then it is free roam,
Yep.
and it is yes or no questions only. Last week we started with Curtis. This week we'll start with Clegg. Clegg,
Okay.
your question starts now.
So, is this a console
Yes.
exclusive? Okay. Curtis.
The original game, console exclusive.
Console exclusive. So then we also know this is either a franchise or has a remake. Thank you, Jason.
Well, potentially, or it could be a one thing where they were trying to make a franchise out of it.
He said original game. That implies either there's more than
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Or they
Okay.
remade
That's
it.
fair. That's fair. Okay. Is this game series in the current generation of consoles, PS4, Xbox One, whatever Nintendo has right now as their current console system,
Right.
or I'm basically asking, is it in this generation or the generation directly that just
Before.
ended? The
It is.
PS3.
It is not in this generation.
Okay. Wait.
So then you were saying it is not Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Wii U, Wii.
Correct.
correct?
Is that what you're?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. That means it's.
Older.
Oh, wait, is it coming out for the next generation? No. Okay. So, is this a Nintendo game?
No.
Okay. That
Which,
might
by
be
the
a
way,
mis-
I have a.
that might be a misnomer.
Curtis, while you shake your head about what I did on the video, I have a funny story behind it. Funny story as well. I'll say it when I'm done.
Okay. I think we need to know if it's. Is it in the generation of GameCube, Xbox, PS2?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not Nintendo.
Well,
means-
Nintendo didn't make it.
Oh, I
That's
suppose.
the
Nintendo didn't
issue.
make it.
That's the issue with that question is we don't know if it's on GameCube.
I suppose. Okay. Is this a first-party game, meaning developed, published by
That's a good
Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo? Although
Hold
you
that
said
thought.
not Nintendo.
I mean, I want to make sure.
Mhm.
I want to make sure I word this. You said developed.
Published.
Yeah.
Published.
Yeah, published.
You guys speak with your attorney on that one.
Yes,
Published.
and he has suggested
Published.
that we use the term
They're
published.
published. Because first party generally means that the first party.
You're right. You're right. They may have partnered with a developer,
That they published it.
like Nintendo partnered with a different developer to make Donkey Kong Country Returns, which was fantastic, but not actually made by Nintendo. For example.
Okay. Then yes, it was published. First party.
Okay.
That was your fifth question.
Okay. We need to know what the console is. Correct? Is that are we have the same mind in that?
Unless it's multi-console, you
No,
know.
he said it was exclusive at the time it was released, at least.
Oh, I suppose that could
It's
be
first party.
misconstrued as not on PC, which is what I meant for it
Yeah.
to be. Okay.
That's why you're asking these double-sided questions, which are really good because we get more answers than. Okay, we're just gonna straight out ask it. Was it on the GameCube?
No.
Okay.
Was it on the PlayStation?
Which one?
It was on the PlayStation platform.
Yes, it was on a PlayStation platform.
Exclusively, like we were asked originally.
Okay, I'm gonna take over.
You have three more questions until free reign.
Okay, we need to know the genre. Is this an RPG?
No.
Okay.
Is this a shooter?
No.
There's some pauses there.
Maybe there's shooting involved in it, but it's not a shooter.
Is this a music game?
Yes.
A music game.
Ah.
Oh, that's right.
And that
'cause you
was on the
pulled that
10th
us a
question.
while
Free
ago.
reign.
Okay, so
Can I ask the first question?
there was Guitar Hero, there was Rock Band.
Amplitude. It's probably Amplitude.
Oh,
If
Oh,
I'm
that's a
gonna
good
guess,
one.
it's
Go
probably
for it.
Amplitude. Is it Amplitude?
Yes, it
or
is.
here.
Yes! Our reign is
On-
still there!
Gosh.
Man, I haven't thought about that game in forever.
Our reign!
On the
What else was there?
10th.
Oh,
Essentially, it's the 10th question because he made the guess. But yeah, it's.
you know what's another one? DDR. You remember
Ooh,
that?
Yeah, I
that would
remember.
have been a good one. I wouldn't have thought of that one. But
Uh-huh.
so, did we call those music games, or is it proper to call those a rhythm game?
I think the proper term is rhythm. But I mean,
Okay.
if you say
Okay.
music game, it's like, okay, I know
it's
what that
just
is.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same, I would think. Yeah.
I was just curious if that would be the proper.
That's like saying, oh, is it an FPS? Oh, no, it's a shooting game. It's like, oh, it's the same
Well,
thing.
I mean, if it's
Right,
third
right.
person, right? I mean, that could...
All right. Oh yeah, the funny story. By the way, this is borderline inappropriate, so be prepared.
do. Sorry.
So there's my fair warning. So my friend posted on Facebook this picture of this little 2-panel comic, and it was like these two men holding each other. They're cuddling. It's like, what are we gonna do? Like, who's gonna make us food? Who's gonna make us sandwiches? And then it was a picture of like two lesbians kissing. It's like, what are we gonna do with all these sandwiches? To which I adamantly respond, I thought lesbians just eat out all the time. To which my friend immediately, this is the best part, he goes, Chase Jessica Bunker. There are children on this feed. And I just go, why Jessica? And to which he just responds with, I don't know your middle name, and Jessica was the first thing that popped into my head. And I'm just like, I sit there, I'm just like, that works. I'll give you that.
I mean, Chase Jessica Bunker. I mean, that should be what we give you a little pain so you could sit at Comic-Con.
Oh god.
Chase
that's good.
Jessica Bunker.
If my Tampa Bay Comic-Con contact is watching, I'm afraid she might actually make that. I really hope she does.
I have parents that could whip that together in a couple days.
Please.
Endorse this.
Oh my god.
This is a great idea.
We're just gonna change it like the tagline to like That Game Show hosted by Chase Jessica Bunker. It's like, what is this like a tranny? Is it like, who is this person?
I would die.
It's like the new Sterling Mallory Archer.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it was a good thing I said this because I completely blanked on what the next topic was gonna be, but now like it helped me remember. I wanted to bring up a topic that we talked about a while ago, and it was about Heroes of the Storm and when it came out, and I was very critical of it, and I said I didn't like it, I wasn't a fan of this, that, and the other. Of course, when I said it wasn't getting good reviews, like that day, GameSpot came out with its review and gave it a 9, so it's like, okay, not everybody's giving it bad, but it's of course poor timing when I say this. But now I've found myself playing it more than I've played League.
Mm-hmm.
In a long time.
And of course, I haven't played League in
months.
I think it's been 3 months.
6 months.
3 months at least, because I played at least one game, like, because in January, February, March, I played one game. I won all those games, but I played only one game. It was all Annie, like, I kept A-ramming Annie, and I kept, and I'm just like,
yeah, that's a good one.
and every time I'm just like, I'm not that good at Annie, because I'm usually playing with you, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not good at Annie after you get a pentakill. You're like, oh, no, I can't do well on Annie.
Because, like, normally, like, every time, like, I never put Annie as, like, one of those top champions that I play, like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna be good at. I'm like, it's not like a Blitzcrank where I'm just gonna be like, I know what to expect out of myself. With Annie, I'm always just like, I'm hit or miss, like, okay, whatever. And it's just, like, you have that same reaction, like, with, like, the one pretty girl who always, like, oh, I'm so ugly, and all the other friends are just like, yep. No, you're not. Oh, you're so pretty.
Well, you know what the problem is, Chase, and not to toot our own horns, but when you play a game as long as we've played League of Legends, which is since early beta.
Since 2008.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Even your worst character is mediocre to really good compared to most other people playing that game. The average League of Legends player is not as good on their best character as you might be on your worst.
Yeah.
That just comes with playing and seeing the game
Yeah.
for what 7 years.
7, 8 years. Like I slowly forget like how long it's been like since this small little game that we've played has now blown up, and I'm happy for their success. Don't get me wrong, but now it's like I'm playing Heroes of the Storm more, and quite frankly, like I don't know why I'm playing it more, but I found myself getting into it. Like girlfriend came over yesterday. She had to do some homework. I played Heroes of the Storm. I could have played League. I could have played Dust, which actually I ended up beating. So I'll talk about that in a second. So talk to me about this. Like, I guess what, like the big comparison between Heroes of the Storm, League of Legends. Let's just like elaborate on this. Like, what do you guys think of like the two games right now? What's making Heroes so much better than League, or in our eyes, it's so much better. I'm not saying the game is better. I'm gonna ramble for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're with you though.
No.
What you want to go first, Curtis?
Yeah.
No, I want you to go first because you totally called this like.
Oh,
How many months ago?
Try to get you guys into it, and we've gotten there now, which makes me happy. I think there are a couple reasons that we are enjoying this game so much, Chase, and one of them is that we've just gotten a little tired of League. You know, after playing it for 8 years, we know 90% of the champions. We could probably name off their abilities, what they do. We know exactly which build to go with. So it's just, you know, that game is a little long in the tooth for us personally because we've been playing it for so long.
Yeah.
And compared to that, Heroes is all new champions with familiar faces you might recognize from franchises, but you've never played as them before. They've got, you know, there's a newness to it. It's shiny and it's new maps that we've never seen. That's another big thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Is just how many maps they have in comparison to Dota 2 or League of Legends. So that's probably number 2 is variety in gameplay with these maps. Number 1 would be totally new champions, so that's just a fresh face in the game. And I had a third point. Oh, casualness compared to League. The games are so much shorter and so much less invested in having to memorize gold purchasing shopping lists and, you know, for items and, you know, last hitting minions in Dota 2. I mean, it's just so much more casual, I'll say. You know, there's a high-end scene to the game, but as a general statement, it's way more casual than League is. And part of it is age. As we get older, there's a little less time to play these games and a little less willingness to invest an hour of my evening into one game. You know, those are the 3 big reasons for me personally.
Jet?
So I have actually a theory about there's some very, very small intelligence to that game. I like it. I don't think it's a better game than League, but I think it's a different game than League, and that's what I think its greatest strength is. You know, and it's kind of weird because I have to backtrack a little bit on a lot of the statements I made earlier, although I still hate that pirate map. That pirate
Oh
map's
yeah,
awful.
I hate that map.
I hate that map. It's terrible. Just burn it to the ground. I despise that map.
Or rework it if you can.
Yeah, there's just something not quite right about that map. And the newest hero, the Butcher, there's something not quite right about that champion too. He's way too strong.
I haven't played him yet. Or played against him.
There's some intelligence to what they're doing. I wish they would do it earlier. That's my biggest issue. Is like they kind of lock extra free character slots behind a level wall, which is a little strange. I don't understand why you would do that because that actually turned me off to the game.
Wait,
initially.
they do what?
You have to, once you get to a certain level, you get extra slots for free characters, meaning like, you know, there's a rotation right, of free characters. Well, you get more and more the higher level you get.
Okay.
So you start off with 6 and then eventually
no, it's
like
way
7
less.
It's
I
4.
think it's
No,
like
I start off
4.
with like 4.
It's
4
like
or 5 and then
which
5
is,
or 6 or something. Yeah.
And sometimes with the 4, you don't even get the specific type of character that you need to create complete quests. Like I didn't have a specialist until I turned like level 10 or something, and then that slot essentially opened up, which is really annoying.
Right.
I think daily quest. Whoa.
I played the cat. Yep, I knew
Cat.
it.
Yeah, that was the cat.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
The camera left. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the camera.
Hi, Clicks Wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was
Sorry.
his floor actually.
We're good. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
This has been a very interesting episode with webcams.
I I agree with Clegg's analysis. The money thing. Um, I think that is an issue with the other games, but I don't ever see Heroes of the Storm ever being quite as high in the competitive scene as League of Legends or Dota 2.
At least not yet. I know that like right now Heroes has been getting a little bit more it's been getting more publicity like via ESPN because of course they had Heroes of the Dorm. They had that little series coming out. And so like after I don't know what it was, I think the quest thing added like a nice little freshness to it. I don't like how the characters are so minimal because for some reason I thought I got Arthas like since I played it as a beta. So, but I didn't get it. So, I'm like, why can I not play Arthas? So I had to learn a new champion. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, it's only 4 champions. I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna do all the champions now because they're only so limited on who they can do. At least with League, like, granted, they have like 200 champions or something. Like, it's ridiculous.
They have 120 right now. Oh, are you saying like they will eventually run out of source material to pull from?
Yes.
And
Creating
I think
characters?
I think that's okay.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I mean, reworks. I think the best thing they could do is actually go back through it and just give you more options.
Yeah.
Right. I think
I
that
mean-
this game, Heroes, gives a little more visual customization where you get skins just like you do in League. You also get mounts, which is a whole new category of customization options. And then both those skins and mounts each have color variations, which are essentially just if it was red before, now it's green. Not that huge a deal. And it's included in the buyout price for when you buy a skin. You actually get 3 color variations for it.
Yeah.
But that's another level of customization, which is really nice. So you're right. Maybe eventually they run out of source material in the 3 other major franchises they have right now.
Not
But if
including
they-
Overwatch as
Not
well.
if they
That's
put
true.
out Overwatch. That's another however many characters are in Overwatch.
That's
could be in
true.
could be
I
in
didn't think of
Heroes. And then if they continue on their current rate of releasing new games, maybe not new IPs, but new games.
Once
we
every
could-
20 years.
we could see more.
Yeah.
They put out 3 new games. In the
IPs though.
in the last 3 years.
New IPs though. First.
No, but I mean the roster size of Overwatch is already pretty large, and
Yeah.
that could go on to
Yeah,
be
that's
just as
true.
large as Heroes. Who knows? I want to go back to one more thing, and it's about the gold purchasing of items for League. That adds a lot of complexity to the game, right? You can do dozens or hundreds of different item builds for one single character, right? And that's a high-end skill cap where you learn the most efficient way to do a spell power build or an attack speed build or whatever. What I like and prefer in Heroes is that there is a similar level of complexity with the talent builds, right? So you've got to choose talents 6 or 7 times over the course of leveling up, and
Sounds
there are
about right.
4 or so choices every time ish. So 4 to the 6th power, however many combinations of talent builds there are there.
Yeah.
That's fine. What that means, though, because the talents are specific to that character, is there really is no wrong answer. You can't go in an attack speed build on an Annie in League of Legends and say that's a good thing. You're playing Annie wrong in that case, right? So
Yeah,
there
that's
is
true.
no absolutely wrong way to talent build a character in Heroes because they only give you 4 options that are good for that character.
I think if
which
we
is
ever
something I
do,
like.
if I think we ever do that joke game of League of Legends where we purposely choose like the wrong thing,
The wrong
I
items.
may
It
do attack
worked.
speed Annie.
It worked though. That's the funny thing. Tanking Annie and freaking AP. I was playing AP Triss when the game was in beta. and
Yeah.
that's like something
And that
new.
was
People.
the thing, right?
And
Yeah.
also don't forget Tank Twitch. I mean Tank Twitch was
Yeah,
amazing.
Tank Twitch was another
Exactly.
one.
I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying for medium or high-end play, that's the
Yeah.
wrong way to play
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
There is no wrong way to build your character necessarily in Heroes because they don't give you that option.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I like about Heroes that I don't get with League is with Heroes, first off, I could probably finish a game in about 10 minutes. 15 if it gets, pretty intense. I like what they did with Jungle. I think it's a really cool, unique mechanic, and I love the fact that I'm going to be getting something different every time I play it. Whereas with League, I have Summoner's Rift and I have ARAM. I don't care about
It's
Twisted
true.
Tree Line. No one plays Dominion anymore, which sucks. I feel like if they put that into their LCS series, that it would be a really good series. But other than that, like, I feel like the characters are all this, like, everybody plays the same characters in League. You have everybody at least changes it up with Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, and with the map changes, like, it adds like a newer element to it. I hate the pirate map of the Burning Passion. I wish they'd get that changed up, but I feel like with all the other ones, like, I don't hate them as much. I love the new Eternal Conflict one. I think that's actually really cool. That one's actually really cool, man. I think that's what kind of like made me like it a little bit more, want to play it a little bit more. But other than that, I still haven't played Dota 2 because when I played it in beta, it just left such a bad taste in my mouth. And I know that they fixed everything, but it was just I don't know. I think if I play it with Rick Jacket, check that interview out on that new show. I may like it a little bit more, but at the same time, I think Heroes is leaving a better taste in my mouth than League.
That game is so similar to League in its level of complexity and the systems it
Yeah.
has, where you got to do gold builds, you got to do, and there's well, I guess Heroes has banning and whatnot, but it's more similar to League of Legends than Heroes is, and I feel like once you know a game really well, like League, you don't want to have to relearn the same game that's just tweaked a little bit. Right, you want something different.
And I feel like with Heroes, it's not like it can go either way. Whereas with League, like, it just snowballs. Like, there really is the chance for comeback is very slim. Like, if you get a good jump, but I mean, granted, actually, let me rephrase that, 'cause I know I just said that about the
opposite one.
I said the opposite. Actually, okay, I take that whole thing back because I
agree with you. I think that
disagree
there's
completely.
flip-flopping in Heroes a lot more than there is in League.
I disagree completely. I think there's way more rubber banding in League than there is in Heroes. Like, I think if you lose 2 fights in Heroes, you pretty much lost the game. It's pretty, like, if you lose 2 objective fights, it's over. You can't win that game. It's very unlikely you'll come back and win that game. That being said, that's what's good about Heroes. It's very definitive. If you lose a couple fights, it's over. There's no coming back. It's most likely you're going to lose the game unless you're really clever and start doing really crazy things like Chase and I were doing the other night when we were playing. We did a couple really, really funny things on the side which really screwed up the other team, and they weren't paying attention. They were like doing the objectives. We're like, screw the objectives. We're just going to walk in their base.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's I think you just highlighted one of the reasons I think it is more flip-floppy is that it's not so team fight dependent. League of Legends is almost entirely about team fights and killing the opposing team, right? Whereas Heroes, most of its maps are very heavily objective based.
Yeah.
So if you avoid the team fights but are doing the objectives, or if your opponents are doing the objectives but you can sneak around and get into their base, which is another objective, I suppose, and you're still avoiding team fights, you can still do very well. So maybe you guys are weaker in the team fight category, but if you have board control, that's another way to win. I feel like that's not an option.
And of course,
in League of Legends at all.
Yeah. And of course, in Heroes right now, there are still some balancing issues. They're not as bad as what they once were, but of course, with any young MOBA, like you have balancing issues early.
Yep.
It happens with every new
absolutely.
character. It with any game, of course. So, we'll see about that. So it's like a fun little debate about League. Hopefully I can get back into it at some point. But I'll watch the LCS. But I have no desire to play it, and I think that's the one thing that sucks.
They're both great things to watch for sure, but for me, I think it's the time investment. When I boot up League, I tell myself, all right, I'm in this for the next hour. I'll get maybe 2 games in there. That's it. Whereas if I do Heroes, I can get 3 or 4 games in there in that same amount of time, and that's just more enticing to me.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of games that we were playing, besides Heroes of the Storm, what games have you guys been playing right now? Start with Curtis.
I'm playing Witcher 2 because Clegg is playing Witcher 3, and I really want to play Witcher 3.
Spoilers, jeez.
Sorry. The only reason I played Witcher 2 is one day I get on Steam and I see The Witcher 3 Daniel Craig is playing Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt, and I'm like, I
Yep.
want to play it. And
Mhm.
I have it on Good Old Games, their new service. Through some of my school stuff that I'm doing, I got a free copy of it.
Nice.
Basically, I played Witcher 1. I own Witcher 2, but I never played it because I'm a lazy bum, and I need to play a bunch of other games. But I played Witcher 2, and I'm almost done, and I'm looking forward to Witcher 3 so much. Yeah, that's kind of just what I'm doing.
Plague, tell us about Witcher 3.
Oh, this game is a good chase. It really is. Yesterday, I completed a quest that involved 3 other quests and took me halfway around the world. This is a side quest that involves an orphanage and some witches, and it should have been a main quest in the story. There were so many cinematics, so much voice acting, so much intricacy to the storytelling in this game,
Mm-hmm.
and it was for a side quest, which
Really?
is really what throws me off. Like this thing took me 5 hours to do, not because I'm bad, but because that's how long the story takes. Um, for a side quest, this game is just so it has so much depth to it, and I'm really digging it. I don't think I'm gonna be playing Batman anytime soon because Witcher is just gonna take up my time.
And also because you can't.
Also because
Yeah.
I don't want to until they fix Batman. But you know what?
Because you
At the
can't
moment,
play Batman.
I can.
You
at
you
like
can't
10
say,
10
oh,
frames
because...
per second.
Well, I think even if he could, he's so invested at this point, and if he starts
Yeah.
playing the Hearthstone inside the game, he's
Oh,
going to be
man.
even
Oh my
more
God.
invested.
I've heard that this game called Gwent is
Yeah, it sounds about
as addictive as Hearthstone. I'm not touching it.
You should. I bet that's
I'm
how you
not
make
going
money,
to.
isn't it?
I
In
don't
that
know.
game.
I'm not touching it because I'm into Hearthstone and I don't need another card game in my life right now. So I'm every vendor. There's will you? I want to buy something from you. I want you to fix my
I
armor.
want you to play
You
Gwent
want to
with
play
me.
Gwent? I know. We'll just nope. We don't want any Gwent. I wish there was a mod to take it out of the game, not because it's not good, because I don't want to get invested. I don't want to get sucked in, man.
You're going to. It's going to happen.
I'm surprised like The Witcher hasn't... Granted, I don't know much about Gwent, but I'm surprised like they haven't actually made it a real life card game and like put it out in like hobby stores yet.
I
Actually,
wouldn't
no.
put
I
it.
did.
wouldn't
I
put
did
past them.
hear that they detached it from Witcher, or someone modded it
Yeah.
so that you can play Gwent by itself without actually playing The Witcher. So clearly people are really into this thing.
Yeah, it's apparently insane.
Mhm. What about you? What have you been playing?
I just finished Dust and Elysian Tale. It was a game that I've been going like off
Dust and Elysium Tale.
an Elysian
What?
Tale. It was
Oh, and Elysian Tale. Okay.
an Elysian Tale. It was a game made by Dean Dodrill, who used to work over at Epic Games, and I read up on the background of it. It was a game that he thought he could finish in 3 months, but it ended up taking him 3.5 years.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
thinking like that's like the worst case of like, oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and it takes them like 2 hours to get there. But I played it. Visually,
We're
it's
not talking about our high school days, are we?
no, of course not.
Okay, good.
Of course not. Visually, it's beautiful. It's like a mix between like Disney and like anime, kind of.
Okay.
The combat, it's kind of simple, but yeah, it's kind of complex at the same time because there's so many things you can do, but in the end, you're really just mashing X. The enemies are different. There's not a lot of like reskinning. Like first off, for a game made by only one guy, it's really good, and it took me about 15 hours to beat it. So it's a good game. Like you get your longevity. Like it was on sale recently as well. And I think it's like $15. Like even like $15, that's still a good deal for like getting 15 hours of game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like they have like a puzzle for when you have to open up treasure chests. It's easy as crap. Okay, it's like you never feel rushed on it. But other than that, like it's a fun game. I thought the story was really cool. Some of the characters, I love the a little Nimbat. It was adorable. The story's pretty good. Other than that, like I recommend it, like especially because it's such a cheap game, and I think it's visually it's beautiful, and that's the one thing you'll look at it is like, okay, it's actually a really beautiful game. Other than that, yeah, I recommend it. I've been playing some Dust. I'm starting Grim Fandango Remastered.
Ooh.
It took me a while because I literally forgot everything about that game. and I don't know how because I enjoyed it. And like, how did I forget like all these little things? But so like me and the girlfriend are playing that. So whenever she's over, like we'll play that together because it's a nice story and everything. I'm trying to think. There was like another game that like, I'm getting into. I want to get into, and I think it's Ori and the Blind Forest. I bought it.
I've heard that one.
I want to do it for the Let's Play, but I feel like that's gonna be one of those things like I just want to finish it myself, and I don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
I felt that way about Child of Light. Visually, a beautiful game, but I sort of just wanted to play by myself and not have anyone helping me do it because you could do a little co-op in that game. Because it was just, it felt very, not isolated, but intimate, right? Like you really got into the characters and the story and you were just really focused. So,
yeah.
I'm with you.
All right, cool. Let's see. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, Capcom will be showing and selling a working version of Mega Man's headpiece at San Diego Comic-Con.
Jace, your time has come. This is for you, bud.
This is not at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, unfortunately, but this is at
No, because James Noir is
San
gonna
Diego.
be there. Maybe he can take it for me.
Maybe.
I got to do some calls to make.
For me, San Diego Comic Con is supposed to have Warcraft movie trailer
Yes.
this weekend.
That's going to be a
So
big deal.
excited. We'll see, but I'm super excited if that's what it is.
Well, they've shown some concept pictures that are like supposed to be the CG in the film, and it looks really good. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So that will be it for today's show. Thank you guys very much for watching. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on a podcast, thank you for making us a part of your day. Like the Facebook page, facebook.com/thatnewshowshow. You can follow me on Twitter at Chase Bunker, or you can follow the show on Twitter at @that_game_show. You can check us out also on Let's Play Society. It's lpsociety.com. We have a bunch of our episodes on there as well. Check us out at Tampa Bay Comic Con, July 31st at 5:30. It'll be August 31st through the 2nd, but we'll be there. Our panel will be at July 31st. Wow.
Yep.
Right.
I've been drinking already. It'll be July 31st to August 2nd. We'll be there on the 31st at 5:30, room 20, apparently. Also, check out a bunch of the shops, a bunch of vendors, meet a bunch of cool people as well. Other than that, Curtis, did I forget anything?
Don't think so.
Did I forget anything?
No, I think we're good, buddy.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm on top of this now. All right. So, on that, I have been Chase Bunker. Thank you very much for watching, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, friends.